Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in and join us tonight. Come on in because the doors of the chapel are open. Come on in and join us tonight. You already know what it is. You are tuned into the Praise Chapel channel. I am your girl, Marcy Maureen, and it is Tuesday night. And y'all know what we're here doing on a Tuesday night. We're here tonight for Kingdom Sound. So come on in and take a seat. Make sure you let somebody know that we are on live tonight. So go ahead and tell somebody to come on in. And I go to Praise Chapel. Make sure you are following us. And I go to Praise Chapel. Okay. Make sure you are liking and you're commenting. Make sure you are hitting us up on that YouTube and the Facebook and the Instagram. And I go to Praise Chapel on all social media outlets. Okay, so make sure you are connected to us. We would love you to be part of our family, and make sure you are letting us know what you're thinking, if you're liking what you're seeing, and if you what you would like to see. Okay, so make sure you go on, let us know. Leave us some comments. We would love to hear from you. So come on in. I'm giving you a second to get on in and come on and take a seat. You already know what I say every week. We won't be before you long. So come on in and join us on tonight. It's going to be a good night, and we just want you to come on in and join us. All right, listen, it's going to be a really good show tonight. You want to make sure that you tell somebody to go to I Go to Praise Chapel and join us. Okay, tell somebody, go to I Go to Praise Chapel. Make sure they are coming in, joining us tonight. It's going to be an amazing show. You don't want to miss it, and you don't want anybody else to miss it. So come on, this is your opportunity. Make sure you are sharing this video. Go ahead right now, share this video. Let somebody know that we are on and we are ready tonight. Okay? All right. Listen. Okay. So listen, tonight it's going to be a really amazing night. It's going to be a really good night. I'm so glad that you are here because you are really going to enjoy this night. Now, tonight we are doing something just a little bit different on tonight. All right. Listen, what we're doing here at Kingdom Sound, we are actually bringing in a new segment. That segment is going to be called Kingdom Legends. All right. Listen, we all know that we have been in some unprecedented times, and there has been so many laws. So many people, we all have been affected by laws, affected by things that are going on. And one thing that we thought about is there have been so many kingdom legends or kingdom artists who have paved the way for the kingdom artists that we talk to every week. And we want to make sure we are celebrating them now. So we want to make sure we are taking some time to celebrate the kingdom legends that have gone before the kingdom artists that we meet with every week. And we want to make sure we are giving some time to celebrate them, to hear their heart, hear their story, hear how they have made it and journeyed through this music and the kingdom, building their kingdom and what they do. And so we are so excited to be able to launch that segment, Kingdom Legends. It is going to be amazing. We want to make sure that you are always tune in every Tuesday so you can always see who's going to be on here. Yep, we're still going to be doing the Kingdom Sound artists, but we also will be doing Kingdom Legends, and it is going to be amazing. I am so excited about Kingdom Legends and hearing from those who have paved the way. Now tonight we're going to be doing something a little different because we all know that we have had some kingdom legends who have passed on, and tonight we want to make sure we want to honor them on tonight, and we want to give this space tonight to just honor them and celebrate the life of what they've done in the kingdom. So tonight we want to welcome back to our show Michi Garland Michi Waller, who is going to join us on tonight. We already know he is an amazing musician, producer. We could go on and on and on. We already know, he's EMG Music. So many things that he does in the kingdom, and knowing that he has connected so much with so many kingdom artists and so many of these kingdom legends. And like I've said a little bit earlier, we have lost some of the kingdom artists and kingdom legends, and we are just excited to welcome Michi in tonight so he can give us a little insight, a little onlook of the legends and some of these artists that we have has gone on, but we are still here to celebrate and honor them. How are you, Mr. Michi?
I'm great. I'm grateful to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a rough week.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a rough year.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As you were saying that there were so many iconic people, especially here
Yes.
in
Mm-hmm.
Philly. I wanted to. I'm glad to have the opportunity to kind of share tonight um, about those people. We
Absolutely.
just recently lost a very big iconic person here in Philly, Alex Ingram,
Yes. Yes.
uh, who was a different, humble guy. I mean, I can't say anything. I don't even remember ever hearing a bad word about him.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who was instrumental to me, and so many here in Philly as young musicians. I know for my generation,
Right. Right.
um, I remember, I remember wanting to play like him,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
being able to, seeing him play with Gabriel Hardeman delegation and
Mm-hmm.
seeing him play with Philly Mass and the choir I came in was Philadelphia Youth Mass.
Okay.
He was
Mm-hmm.
playing then. He was writing all these great songs and you know it's just I don't think he got the recognition that he really deserved.
Yes. Right. Right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wanted to take some time out, you know, to kind of just tell people how great this man was.
Right. Right.
He
Right.
was an amazing musician, an amazing producer, amazing songwriter. Um, we probably don't even recognize that some of the songs that he wrote
Mm-hmm.
uh, for so many people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
had the opportunity to do a lot of work with him, and talk with him a whole lot, and he kind of, he gave you insight and really, with all that being said, it's on my heart that I'm hoping some of the younger generation is watching tonight,
Absolutely.
because I wanna kind of tell them, we he was one of those people who gave instruction without being offensive,
Mm-hmm.
and he was willing to show you anything,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm so happy to have known him,
Yes.
and to, like, he was inspirational when I started playing at 9 and 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It was him to kind of say, "Hey, you should do this. You should do that. You should do this,"
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
and really gave me an opportunity to play,
Mm-hmm.
when some others wouldn't. And then they taught us. He taught us so many things. I mean, and not just him. I mean,
Right.
there's this year has been kind of weird. It's
It
just been
has. It
really
has.
weird,
It has.
with losing people.
Right.
And I mean, going all the way back to Bishop Andrew Ford.
Right.
Everybody knew who he was,
Mm-hmm.
and he was Mr. Gospel here in Philly.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
he was another one that kind of imparted a whole lot of things
Right.
into a whole lot of people, especially in my generation.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's so many things, from the Sweet Rain situation,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
him being able to record Hezekiah Walker in his early days, and
Yes.
uh, just a whole lot. So we're losing them, but at the
Right.
same time, I'm concerned that
Mm-hmm.
we, and even some of the younger people, don't recognize them
Right. Yes.
r-
Yes. That's
right
true.
now. And I think with this last, you know, with Al passing, it was just kind of like, you know what, we need to start recognizing them now. You know, we need
Yes.
to recognize them and thanking them for all that they brought to the table. You know,
Right.
you
Mhm.
had Al, you had Bishop Ford. We lost another young man who had a brilliant business mind
Mhm.
in terms of with choirs and management and all of that. Kevin Custis. I mean,
Mhm.
he was an amazing person. Um, I remember doing some work with him years ago with a group called JEG,
Okay.
which was kind of it was one of my first real production jobs. So these people, Kevin Custis, we lost another great iconic person who was one of the greatest drummers in the history of gospel music, Jeff Lowe Davis out of New Jersey.
Mhm.
Um, it was Jeff Davis that all the drummers wanted to be like, and he was the standard. You know,
Mhm.
he was the standard for gospel drum playing. So and it was Jeff that told me, "Hey man, you can play everything. You can do it. You can do it all. But
Mhm.
this is what you need to do. This is why they ask us to come."
Right.
Because I used to get upset as a young person. You practice all week long at the conference, and they let you play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the recording was coming up Thursday or Friday, and all of a sudden the heavy hitters came in,
Mhm.
and so what you practiced all week long, you didn't get a chance to play because they were doing the record now.
Mhm.
And so that's a different kind of playing.
Right. Right.
And as a young, I was young and was energetic, and I was trying to play everything I knew how to play,
Mhm.
in one song. And he pulled me to the side one day and said, "Hey man, you can play everything that we can play. You can play everything we can play, but
Mhm.
you're playing too much. That's not how you play
Mhm.
records." And I never forgot that. And so, like that's it's stuff like that. And I don't know if people, and I'm sure he did that with a lot of people.
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
sure all of them
Right.
had some effect on our generation. And these people, we wanted to be like these people.
Yes.
So as
Mhm.
musicians and writers and producers, so that's just what I'm thinking about as I'm entering the OG stage um, for around here.
Right. Mhm.
A lot of them call me Unc and this,
Yes.
you know, Big Bro and all of that. Well, I mean, there were some people before me
Mm.
that you know were real instrumental, not
Right.
only for me, but if it hadn't been for them,
Mhm.
none of us
Right. Right.
would be able to do what we do.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Absolutely. 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 And I think, it's crazy that how you've mentioned all of these artists. I've known these artists. I grew up watching Alex Ingram playing
sure,
in church, talking about piano, organ. It was just absolutely amazing. Good friend of my parents. So it's like to be able to have sat under his gift.
yeah,
And it's a shame that so many artists, I mean, not even artists, but musicians today, like you've already said, may not really know him in the way that I've been able to know him growing up. But it was the gift. His gift
yeah,
was so amazing. I mean, the way
absolutely,
he could play a hymn.
absolutely. And speaking, I'm glad you even said that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad you even said that because when there are a lot of and I'm speaking to the young musicians, and I know this is not popular. What I'm saying, um, you said the way he would play a hymn.
Mm,
Um, Young musicians, I wanna encourage you really learn the hymns of the church.
absolutely.
That's something Al instilled in me. to be well rounded in this whole church situation.
Right. Right.
Um, like there are moments by which it's not every moment is not a shout music moment.
That's it. That's it.
Every moment is not a shout music moment.
Discern the spirit.
You know, there you got to know what hymn to play and how to play that hymn to convey
Right.
the right, to convey the right message for what's happening. And I was able to watch
Yeah.
Al
Mm-hmm.
do stuff like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, even when I thought I was doing what I was doing, playing shout music, and it would be like, "Young brother, let me get on here, let me
Wow.
get on." And and back then, again, and I'm saying this because back then, while you were trying to do what you were doing,
Yes.
you were trying to do what you were doing. I mean, and really, as a young person, you were just trying to play as much as you could play.
Right.
You were
Right.
hungry to play. You just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to play. That's it. And sometimes you weren't able. I wasn't able to adjust and
Mm-hmm.
discern that moment.
Right.
And be like, okay, enough of that. It's time for this now.
Right.
Or he would. I mean, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it in a nasty way or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's like, hey, let me get here. Let me get here, young bro. And then he'll start playing something like "Great Is Thy Faithfulness"
Yes.
and wreck the place.
That's
And it's
mm-hmm.
like, oh my God! So it's like those are the things. Like I wish the same things could be passed down to the
Yes.
younger, to the younger generation. I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
um, knowing that, showing them how to do this thing,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you may know how to play all these big chords and all the runs and all of that. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even that don't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's that knowing what to do, when to do it. And I mean, there's so many people that he had relationship with and
Mm-hmm.
all of those good things. So I mean, seeing him at Fellowship Tabernacle,
Yep. That's it
uh,
right there. Yep.
under Robert
Bishop
Taylor,
Robert Taylor.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
being able to witness that and that choir. I mean, that's where Bishop Bruce Parham came from,
Yes.
and so many others. Bishop Joe Adams.
Adams. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um, there's so many that came that went there, uh,
Right.
and I'm sure if they were here, they would be able to speak um, about those things and how Al could change the atmosphere of the service
Right. Right.
just with his plan.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
I talked to some of them this week, and I'm hoping some of them get a chance to come in tonight
Mm-hmm.
and actually. Oh, there go my big bro right there.
Ah,
Hey man,
oh
Look at
my
the,
gosh.
look at the big bro right there.
hey man, how
Hello,
you
Bishop
doing?
Parham.
Hello. How are you? How are
I'm good.
you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm
So
good.
Good.
I'm
we
Good.
were
good.
just speaking about how uh, Al and Bishop Ford and Kevin
Yeah.
Wilkins and Kevin Custis, Jeff Davis. Like we've lost
Yep.
all these iconic people
Right.
in
Absolutely.
in the
Absolutely.
industry, and Al being the latest uh,
Mhm.
to go. How what kind of he was just a beautiful guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't in trouble. He wasn't trying to be a star. He wasn't trying to be. He was just a
No.
great dude.
Yes.
So I mean, I know Bishop has plenty of stories um, that he can share
Yeah.
with the Fellowship Tabernacle days under
My God. Yeah, man.
Robert Taylor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, and this is a legend in itself. This
Absolutely.
person that's on
Absolutely.
here right now, you know,
Absolutely.
So I mean, I love him. I love the fact that that's the big bro to me.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
my big bro.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you know, Bishop, just if you could share some stuff about, Al, Bishop Ford, all of these people,
Wow. Wow. Oh man. Um, well, when it comes to Bishop Ford, I've known the Ford family all my life, and Bishop Andrew Ford was my first producer.
Mm,
He was he was the guy. Bishop Ford always knew talent. He knew talent, and he pushed talent.
yeah,
And he was always comfortable in his own skin. So no
sure.
matter how gifted you were, it didn't intimidate him. He wanted to push you. And I was 22 when I did my first CD on Sweet Rain Records.
Wow.
And again, the whole Ford family, I just known them all my life, been close to them all my life. So at the same time, I was at Fellowship Tabernacle um, with Bishop Robert Taylor, and Al Ingram was the minister of music there.
Mhm.
And I heard you saying it while I was waiting to come in. Everybody doesn't know how to change an atmosphere. Everybody doesn't know how to create an atmosphere. They
Right.
might know chords, they might be gifted, they might be
Hmm.
talented, but
Hmm.
they don't understand how to shift and to flow and to ebb. They don't everybody doesn't understand that. And Al was one of those people that was versatile enough to, he was a Hawkins fan.
Yeah.
So we sang a lot of Hawkins material, Southeast inspirational, we sang a lot of that stuff. And but he was in rehearsals, he had a demeanor. He wanted things to go a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was serious about what he did, but he was still laid back. He wasn't, he was just not. He wasn't concerned about being up front as well as much as he was concerned about it being right.
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 And so my formative years, I've said all that to say that my formative years, I'm 54 now. I was 22 then. My formative years started with that as my foundation. Bishop Ford was my producer, and Al was the minister of music. He wrote music for my first CD, and we traveled together. I mean, I was the lead singer on the choir. I was the praise team. I led devotional service. I was president of the choir at one time. So we were together a lot. And we were just good friends. And that friendship continued even as we got older.
Mhm.
So my formative years were there. And I appreciate that because nobody just becomes. We all evolve.
Sure.
And it's because of, people that are in our lives that become foundations for us.
Yes.
You just don't get there. You get there because you're on somebody else's shoulders.
Right.
And these were the people that really honed in on my gifts and
Mm.
my talents and my abilities. And they loved me enough to be critical, to
Yeah.
tell me,
Mm.
Yeah.
That's good.
that's not working, Doc,
Yeah.
or you're doing too much there. I mean, they loved me enough to be honest with me.
Mhm.
And I think that's if I can have a critique, I think that this generation and the culture of this generation, we're missing that because everybody kind of thinks they're already a star.
Right. Right. Right.
Mm.
they
So
they
true.
got a couple of CDs, they got a couple songs on the radio, and they already there. And I'm speaking from 30 plus years of experience. You still learn, you still evolve, you still grow.
Sure.
And you got to have people who love you enough to be honest with you,
Right.
and they were that for me. They pushed me, they supported me, but they
Sure.
also were a balance. You know what I mean? And I think that this generation, they just need to learn how to appreciate voices that have been here and have been
Mm.
doing what you want to do. You know, Scripture talks. Second Corinthians. I'm sorry, I'm preaching.
Come on.
Second
Yeah.
Corinthians.
Come on.
Second Corinthians talks about. Paul says, "I'll never compare myself with myself." In
Mhm.
other words, he says, there are people who are saying that they only have a viewpoint of eye level, you know. So they're comparing themselves with themselves.
Come
So
on.
everybody that's in the bunch hasn't done much. So they all think they're great. But the only way to grow, you got to get around taller people. You got to get around people who are doing what you want to do
It's tough.
and have reach so that they can stretch you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think some of these new artists and new singers and psalmists and musicians, I think they feel like they've already evolved and they're stunning their growth. You only get better when you hang around people who are doing what you want to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And there's still people that want to take you on the trip. They don't want to leave you. They want you to go with them. But you got to just know and respect who they are, you know. And so these are the guys, you know, Bishop Andrew Ford and Mr. Al Ingram, Kevin Wilkins. I don't know if you mentioned him. Just different musicians and people that I shared quality time with for years and years and years. They were very integral to who I became, and you know, and it was really, you almost like in a sense you get spoiled because they were so good.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you hear some of what you hear now, you're like, man, you should go back and study these guys. You know what I mean? Because that's how we got better. We studied the people who was doing it.
Right.
That's how you get better, because you study people who are already doing it. You know,
Absolutely.
and they have so much to offer. You know, that I've talked enough, but that they were great people, man, and they're very missed. They're, you know, to this day, I miss my friend Bishop Andrew Ford, you know, and now, you know, Minister Al Ingram being gone, you know, they're going to be missed. They're going to always be missed. Yeah, yeah.
They had such big influences on
Absolutely
us.
On Philly sound, the sound of
Philly.
Philly,
Exactly.
Philly sound,
Exactly.
absolutely, Philly sound, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many. I know. I remember we did a show not too long ago on here on Praise Chapel, and Morgan and I were talking. We had Morgan on, and Morgan was saying how I was the OG to him.
Because we are the OGs.
Right, we the OGs now. So
we the OGs now. Isn't that something to say?
And Morgan has had an opportunity to work with them as well.
Absolutely.
And I asked him to come chime in if he's here.
There he is.
There you
nephew.
What's up to my uncle and my OG? What's going on?
What's up, nephew? What's up?
It's such an honor to be on here, and I've been sitting backstage just hearing you guys talk about Uncle Andy, and I got to finally meet the legend, Mr. Alex himself in my later years working with Bubby Fan.
Right.
Producer from the area, and it was so crazy. I literally found the CD, the last CD that I played on with him, and it was just, you know, if you can go download it, it's a great CD. Had the opportunity to work with him. Didn't know about his history and all his dealings with so many great artists and producers in Philly, and really didn't even know his connection to my church that I'm at now in Baltimore, Maryland, the Bethel Temple Church of Christ. Didn't know that his roots were connected there with my minister of music and my pastor, Bishop Pender and Vincent Sneed. And it's like, wow, he's just been all over and touched so many lives. And then, you know, my Uncle Andrew Ford, God, I miss him. But one of the last records that we did, I was able to be the music director, assistant music director, and even ended up being a co-producer on some of the stuff. So like this record right here, I would cherish it for the rest of my life. Yeah, I have all this stuff. These are precious memories to me now. I actually get to be one of the ones that can say I had the opportunity to sit under their tutelage, even in their later years. They still had so much wisdom and knowledge about just how to do it right, how to do it with integrity. And you know, I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world with my OG Michi, but still sitting with them and learning just how to do it on a professional level, even though that's not what they were seeking, but it was still a level of excellence that really they just commanded every time we got in the room. I mean, you know, if you ask anybody from Ford Memorial, Uncle Andy's nickname was Joe Jackson. If it wasn't right, we was gonna be there all night long till it got right. And I mean, it showed every time they got up to minister. One of my fondest memories after we did the recordings when we went to GMWA in Atlanta, and I know Uncle Andy had us singing on about maybe like 9 different events and everything. And we would travel to the Stellas together, and you know, he literally pretty much told my pastor, Bishop Pender, he was like, "That's my nephew, and he's my MD on the road. Whenever I go on the road, he's going with me." And you know, it was just that relationship really, really meant a lot to me, because he had so many great musicians come through his church, from Uncle Stephen Ford to Jamar, Omar, Jay, Wayne Moore, Spanky, Aaron Draper. The list goes on.
It's a long list.
A long list. We'll be here all day talking about just the different generations of bands that have come through there. And not only that, at one point, if your group did not come to Ford and sing, you didn't count.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Because in Philly, that was the place to come to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never forget coming to Ford the first time and feeling that floor shake when they was in a for real world.
Right.
There you go.
That was like, oh, this is a real thing. But it was always a level of excellence and always a level of love in there. But like I heard my Uncle Bruce say, there was also a love in the correction. Like, no, that's not right. You ain't got to do that. No.
Right.
And really, for me, because I came up with, you know, and I'm always gonna pay homage to my guy Michi, I never took correction as I was doing wrong. It was really like, no, let me just teach you something that you really don't know. Because like Uncle Bruce said, he's 54 now. He's been doing it 30-something years. So that's, you know, I'm only 36 going on 37. So he's been doing it longer than, almost just as long as I've been living. So he absolutely knows way more. They knew way more than what we did. But
that's
what
a nice way of saying he's old.
You know, no, that you know, you still the slickest dude out here. You already know what it is.
I just play.
But you know, it's really, and even honestly, when I say, and I'm not saying it just because he's here, the relationship I've developed with Uncle Bruce, and you know, just knowing that's the stock that he comes from, it shows you that like the guys before him, because now they laugh at them being the OGs now. But it's like, no, y'all have really, really grabbed the mantle from, you know, the Uncle Andy's, the Mr. Alex's, and, you know, all of those guys, y'all carry that with y'all now. And I'll even remember, I don't know if we say anything about Uncle Jeff, one of the greatest drummers to ever sit behind the drum set in gospel music. Uncle Jeff was always giving an encouraging word. I'll never forget. I think Michi might remember this. It was one time at Pastor Key's VIP conference. Yeah. And Jeff literally just sitting around talking, not even to the guys that came for the conference, but talking to Pastor Key's band at the time. And he was like, look, y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, I think we might have been in our early 20s. He was like, man, if y'all can make it on this gig prepares you for anything that you can do. This is like the gospel boot camp. And then from then on, as every time he saw us, he said, yep, y'all are growing. I see the growth. He always had something encouraging to say to everybody that he met. So if you came in contact with him, his mission for all musicians was to be better. He had nothing to prove to us that he played for everybody, played on every record. It wasn't that. As he got older, he was like, look, man, I ain't here to prove it. I just want to enjoy the music. And if you got off your set and he said, I enjoyed you, that was one of the highest forms of compliment that he could ever give you. And he just had a big heart, but, you know, really sitting now, realizing that, you know, God has called him home. It's like, wow, man, you know, we really are living with living legends. And I wish the young people, and I know I'm young, but I got to grow up with them. Everybody don't get to walk with living legends. Everybody don't have that testimony. So when you're walking with them, you got to respect them while they're here, because trust me, they have walked this road before that we are trying to walk. There are things that you guys know that we haven't even experienced yet just because of our age. We won't, you know, it's just not happening yet. But what I can honestly say is working and being in relationship with you guys has made me better. And it has also given me an opportunity to start passing along what I've learned to others, because it really does become a cycle of don't hold it for yourself. And that's one thing I can say about especially these two and the ones that have gone on. They gave of themselves so freely. It was never a time where I couldn't pick up the phone and call Uncle Andy and just talk or whatever. Michi the same way. Every time I see Uncle Bruce, it's like, nephew, how you doing? I ask him about his son. I'm like, how's my nephew doing? His son is one of my favorite drummers.
Right.
Hands
I was
down.
getting ready to say that.
No, and literally
but
just that relation.
That's the pattern. That's the pattern.
And literally the respect his son has for me. We've never done a gig together, but every time Uncle Bruce come to my church, I'm like, where my nephew at? Put him on them drums. Let's have church. Yeah. But it's just building those relationships. And I think a lot of times the younger musicians don't worry about building those things. You have to have relationship in order to move forward. I've heard Israel say one time in one of his conferences, life can move at the speed of relationships. If you don't have any relationships, you're pretty much not moving where you need to go. So I'm just glad that I was able to have relationships with all of these great men that did so many great things for the industry that we're trying to move forward now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's all. I know we got other people coming on here, but, you know, I love these two guys right here. They know I do.
Love you too.
This is amazing. This is so awesome, and it's so great that I'm able to hear. Like I said, I've known all of the gentlemen that you all have mentioned tonight, but I've seen them in different light. Like I've seen them preaching, or I've seen like Minister Alex Ingram in church playing. So it wasn't that I've seen them on like the artistry much. So it's really good to hear you all speak of them in that way, as you know, especially hearing how they have deposited, you know, and like I agree so much with you all saying if so many of the young musicians today can only take on and listen and follow.
Yeah, these are jewels right here.
That's right. Exactly.
These are jewels right here.
Exactly. Listen, Bishop Parham, listen, you
Bishop
still relevant. I don't care.
Parham is a true jewel. I tell anybody
today.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, my other brother just came in, and I know we were just talking.
There you go. There you go.
We were just talking.
I'm just gonna sit back because I'm loving this right here. I'm sitting right here back. Y'all go ahead. I'm loving it.
And you know, I think one of the main words that Bishop said and Morgan said, and that was, you know what we did? We respected those people. We respected them, and when they spoke to us, even in the discipline, it was in love.
Yeah.
It wasn't to belittle us as musicians or artists in any way. It was, you know, they were a little bit more seasoned in that area than we were. So, like I said earlier, you know, when we were young, we just wanted to play, and so we didn't know how to shift and flow. We just wanted to play shout music.
Right.
Play all we knew how to play inside the shout music. You know,
inside of it, yeah.
You know, and
did everything we could.
Absolutely. And I mean, I remember Allison. Let me get here for a minute.
Hey, that tap on that shoulder, me.
Yeah.
There it goes, Zach. There it goes. That 2-finger tap.
You know, or somebody saying something that I wasn't familiar with because it was way older than me. You know, they'd be like, "Let me get here, son. You don't know that." You don't know that. You know, so you know, Al and Bishop. You know, I know Bishop more than anything. You know, was, like I said, he was gospel Philly for a while. You know, everything that happened came through that situation. I know, you know, Morgan and Bishop Parham, and I know for sure what he meant to this young man that just came in, Zach Williams, for the stuff that he imparted in him. So Zach, I can't speak for you, so you can speak about all of these people. You know, Kevin Custis and Kevin Wilkins and Al and Jeff Lowe Davis and Michelle White, all those people. I mean, we losing icons. They icons from here, from our area. So, I just hope that we can be. I hope that we can be for the younger generation what they were for us.
Right. It's hard for me to talk about these individuals. I'm going to apologize now because I already know I'm going to get emotional, because all of these great men that have passed away played a vital part in me being what I am today. Also, I have to pay homage to Bishop Parham. He was a part of that process.
Sure.
Of making me the musician, the man, and the husband that I am. I can't, Kevin Wilkins. I met Kevin Wilkins. I was 13, going to summer camp at the New Hope Revival Center. I'm about to give y'all some real history. The New Hope Revival Center, when it was located on 47th and Spruce. At that time, he was Elder Harold Faust, was the pastor.
Wow.
And Kevin was the organist. And I was playing the keyboard a little bit, but I was more of a drummer. And I was playing the drums. They had this orange, sparkly drum set. And I used to always make my dad take me first so I could get there first. I could be the first one on the drums. And they had service. So it was one time we was having service, and after service was over, and I got on the organ and started playing, and Kevin said, "You know how to play?" I said, "Yeah." "You think you know how to play?" Everybody know how Kevin.
Right.
Kevin was like the king. He didn't have what we call hidden shade. Some people throw shade and you don't know they're throwing it, but not Kevin Wilkins. And he'll give you shade with a smile. He was like, "Oh, you think you can play?" I said, "No, I play a little bit." And then I play. He said, "Yeah, you do play a little bit." But from that day on, he said to me something that I've been watching since I've been waiting. He said something to me because Reverend Faust Church back then, they shouted a lot. So of course, now with me, that was great for me because the church that I grew up at Macedonia, they shouted too. So I like to play shout music. So that's all I knew how to really play. But with my mom being, the president of the choir and musical family, I had to learn hymns. So he asked me if I knew how to play a hymn. So I was like, yeah. So he said, "I'm gonna give you the easiest hymn, Pass Me Not." So I played it. And he told me, he said, "You passed the test. You can play hymns." He said, "That's your foundation." From that day, until when he was called home, every time I would see him, we would always talk about that time period. So, and he's always stayed the same. I can say the same for Al. Al is like Philly's big brother, Philly's uncle.
Yeah.
He was different from a lot of musicians because we have egos.
Right.
We do. We have egos. I did. We have egos. So that wasn't him.
Right.
It was nothing for him to walk over to you and say, "You playing that wrong. Let me show you how to play it right."
Exactly.
That's how he would do it. Very soft spoken. Very soft spoken. Or if he didn't say nothing to you, you best believe you was getting a phone call after it was over. You best believe you was gonna get a phone call and you would be on the phone for 45 minutes because he had the gift. He would talk. You look at the phone like, "I gotta go," and he's still talking. But that's knowledge. That's knowledge. You can't pay for that kind of stuff. You can't pay for that. You cannot pay for that. And then, Bishop Ford, I can go on and on and on about all of them. Bishop Ford, I remember when he asked me to come play at the church. I was at Rock of Ages Holy Church with my best friend Damian Stewart and Sean Stewart. So we was there for, I think it was like a youth convocation, and the youth choir had to sing. AJ Ford Youth Ensemble. That's what the name of the choir. So they had to sing, and the musician wasn't there. So we were in the parking lot, And Bishop, of course, when he pulled up, because he pulled up at that time, he had that big blue 4-door Lincoln.
Right.
So, he pulled up in the lot or whatever. Hey, yo, Bishop Ford is here, Bishop Ford is here. So he came out. I said, hey, Bishop, what's up, son? What's up, son? Who you playing for tonight? I was like, I'm playing for such and such. No, you playing for me tonight. I said, oh, okay. Okay, that was him. Very direct.
Very direct.
Yeah, you play for me tonight. He did that before. Bishop Parham. You remember when he was directing? It was something called like the Hospital United Mass Choir or something like that. Back in the day, it was like a hospital choir or something. But anyway, he was like, "Yeah, you playing for me tonight." I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Now in the back of my mind, I'm saying, Stephen Ford is your brother,
Right?
So you're telling me that I'm playing for you tonight, and your brother Stephen Ford? Yeah, okay. This is a setup if I ever seen it." So I played for him that night, and after it was over, what church you play at? I was like, well, I'm not really playing. Come to the temple on Sunday. Okay, I'll come. And then Sarita comes outside. Sarita, meet your new organist. He's gonna be there Sunday. I'm like, what? You just asked me to come. You didn't tell me that I was a new organist. That's how I started playing it for it.
Wow.
Consistent. He was the Joe Jackson to choir members and musicians.
Sure.
Yep.
He had Bishop Ford just had his way of doing things, but it was always excellence.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't one of those people where you had to worry about where he was with you.
Right.
He was
right.
not. None of those guys were. They were consistent with everything and everyone. And their loss is tremendous.
Right.
Their loss is tremendous. As soon as I heard about Al, I just immediately shut down. Immediately.
Right.
I don't do well with death anyway. But when they said he passed, I shut down and I started thinking about Bishop and Kevin. And I'm like, our Philly landscape has changed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's changed.
It's changed forever. When they had that musical for Bishop Ford, we sat in front of the church. It was me, Rodney, Sean Bell, and Sean Stewart. I said to them, fellas, this is the end of an era.
Yeah.
This is really the end of an era. It's never going to be like this again. And without passing, to me, I was that link to, to the old school, especially for us young musicians, because he gave all of us an opportunity. Like he gave me an opportunity he was the musical director for the Philadelphia chapter of the Evan Hawkins Music and Art Seminar. That was my first situation to play for. I played for that. And then recently, he would always call me to do things. Recently, I was assisting him with the Wild Wild Welcome America event. We did that every year, and like I said, he invested in young. He would always call me and say, so who's the upcoming drummer? I would give him a number. No, he can't keep time. He's too busy. Give me somebody else. I said, okay.
That's what
he was. He was like, he said, let me know who is the next, who's another good keyboard player, who's another good organist. It was just, I can't. Let me stop talking. I'm gonna leave it alone.
I mean, it was so many things that all of them imparted. I mean, and people didn't even know. I mean, this man wrote one of the hottest songs
absolutely
ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
I mean,
my church still sings it today.
I mean, but
absolutely.
Everybody sing praise the let's just praise
the Lord.
Yeah.
And that song has to be 30
Yeah, it has to be.
At least. I remember Philly Maz used to sing it. And I was a kid. And that was a little while ago, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, but
so worthy, and we worship you, and we thank you for every opportunity to lift our hands and give glory to you, for you alone are the high exalted God. You're the King eternal, you're the immortal, you're the invisible, you're the only wise God. Unto you be all glory, unto you be all power and all dominion. And we join with the angelic host and we say, holy, holy, holy.
Now, if your choir didn't sing that song, your musician be in trouble. He should be in trouble. All the choirs who sung that song at their church.
Yep.
That's a hit at the Enoch Tabernacle Baptist Church. That's a hit. I mean, if they sing that, it's gonna be chaos for a minute.
Let me tell you something.
They sing Spanish and all that too.
I did a concert. We did a concert in February. Of course, it was part of the Sing Y'all concert series, but this one was special because we themed this one Choirdelphia. And basically what that meant was Choirdelphia was a celebration of Philly choir music. And we had different churches and community choirs came together. When we all got together, it was like 150 or so, maybe a little bit more people and musicians coming together to make one big choir to celebrate Philly choirs. And I told Al about it. I said, I want you to be a part of this. And I was explaining what I was doing. And he was like, you don't have to tell me no more. I'm gonna be there. This is big. This is big and this is great. And it shows unity. So I want to be a part of it. So I said, yeah, I want to do your song. Let's just praise the Lord. He was like, Zach, that song is old. I said, no. That song is right. We need to do it.
That song is definitely right.
So it's definitely right. We need to do it. And we did it, but little did he know that we honored him that night for his many contributions in gospel music. And I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to do that. Some of the people on the team was like, people were telling me that I should move the date and make it later because it was literally really honestly thrown together. And Meet, you can attest to this. It was we literally threw that concert together. Tamika Furby, James Scott, AJ Collier, Greg Mitchell, Nick Reynolds, Patrice DeLisser. We threw that together. But I was very adamant that we had to have that concert that Sunday. It was the last Sunday in February.
Right.
2 weeks after that, everything was shut down.
Right.
And we did that song, and we started off that song, and it was amazing. I just found the video earlier today. It was amazing just to see all of those young people. They had never heard of that song before, but to see them clapping and grooving and enjoying the song and watching the musicians, get into it and breathe new life into the song. It was just an amazing night, and I'm glad that happened.
Yeah.
Kudos.
I got a question, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about the new breed of musicians coming behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we can be honest about it.
Absolutely.
We got more years ahead of us than behind us at this point. So what can we do to really help this next generation? Because I don't think it's that we don't want to offer it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they want to hear it. And so what do we do? Because I do understand there is a dimension. It's a multi-dimensional situation. Because there are some guys who have hurt them. I get it.
Yeah.
That have dogged them. I get it. And so they have shut down to some degree. But everybody didn't do that.
Right.
So, we still had a responsibility and the assignment to pass on information.
Yeah.
But we just want to pass it on to people that want it.
There's your key right there. There has to be a hunger for my generation to want mentorship.
Okay.
Everybody doesn't want to be mentored because everybody's great.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Social media has allowed everybody to show how great they are. but not expose their weaknesses.
Right.
Because
that was good.
You can literally, you can practice a 60-second clip 560 times before you post your best clip.
That's true.
Post that first clip of your mess ups, so that way your mentor can come on there and say, that's where you messed up.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be perfect. Nobody wants reproach. Nobody wants to be sat down. Nobody wants to be told that you're not the best. Nobody wants to actually have to wait their turn, because everybody believes now that I'm good enough to do what y'all do.
It's my turn now. Yeah.
It's my turn now. It's, you know, and I get it. But what my admonition to my peers, the younger generation, is like, you have to have somebody that can tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with being wrong. Being wrong does not mean you're not good.
Right.
Being wrong means you're teachable.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have that posture of saying, okay, I want this bad enough that I'm willing to take all the hell that comes with it from these guys. Michi will tell you, and even Zach will tell you, because at one point I wanted to play for One Accord so bad, but Andre was so killing on bass, Zach was like, nope. And it wasn't until like later on, Zach was like, yo, Mo, I need you. And then when it was my turn, I proved that I was ready for the job. But really, and I even go back to me and Michi talked about this on the last segment. When I first got into the whole Pastor Key camp, I was not ready at all. No. And a lot of people wouldn't be honest with me that you weren't ready. Wow. It was more like the shunner, like, oh yeah, just sit over here. But Michi saying like, no, this is what you need to learn. This is what you need. If this is what you want, I'm going to show you what it takes. So let's separate. You come with me. And the thing is, like I said, y'all extend the invitation, but what my generation and the people under me, because I'll tell the guys under me, y'all can play circles around me all day. Y'all can. They can outplay me or outplay anybody on our best day. But the difference is y'all can outplay us, but y'all can't outthink us right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to writing a song, ain't nobody outthinking of Zach Williams. Ain't nobody outthinking him. Yeah. Zach is not writing popcorn hits, trying to get a radio hit. He's not coming from that perspective as a writer.
Right.
But you don't see young writers coming to Zach saying, man, how do I put a song together? I got this song. It's like, nope. I'm going to find a musician. I'm going to find a studio, put this song out, and I'm going to send it to Zach on the radio. Now, mind you, Zach's been a musician. He's been an artist. He is an artist. He's involved in radio. So if you wrap all of those years of knowledge up and you think you're just going to hand him a song, he's going to be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Get somewhere and be able to be taught by somebody. And the thing is, like you said, the prideful musicians of my older generation that have hurt them, you know, it really, really did damage. But I can speak freely and say everybody is not out to hurt you. And sometimes the hard truth is necessary.
Yeah.
We got the hard truth. We got the hard truth. I mean, we had like I said, the Owls, the Bishop, Carol Antrim.
Yeah.
You better not play her song.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
She ain't asked you to add. I mean, like you adding this and you adding that. No, that's not what the music say.
Let me give y'all my dose of reality. When I started playing for Wilmington Chester, I was not ready for that stage because I was in there playing for all the choirs in Philly. So, you know, when they asked me to play for Wilmington Chester, you know, that they had already won 2 Stellar Awards. Reverend Davis had just passed, and the choir was poof. They was at the max. I wasn't ready for that. I thought I was, because my mentality was, oh, I'm playing for Wilmington Chester. I must be something.
Right.
So we did the next session, right? So I'm still in myself. You know, Willis, you know, took time with me, sat down with me. You doing this wrong, you doing this wrong, you doing this wrong. Don't play that, play this, don't play this, just play this only. Okay. So we did the session. The session come out. All of my tracks were done over.
Oh man, I know the feeling. Oh God, I know the feeling.
So I'm telling people, I'm on this record with Will the Jester. I'm on the record. I'm on the record. So the record, I get the tape. It was a tape. It was a cassette.
Come on, tape.
I get the cassette.
Zach, talk about it. Talk about
my
it, bro.
mother, I'm telling you all the God honest truth. I got the cassette. I gave it to my mom. She put it in the tape player. We listening to it. And she's calling everybody. This is Zach. Zach is playing on. You got to go get One with the Jester. So everybody in the church is buying the tape now. I'm listening to this. I'm listening to the tape. I never played that.
Oh,
that ain't me.
Yeah,
that ain't me. That's me, but that's not me.
Look,
that lesson taught me something.
And Zach, you want to know what, big bro? That don't happen nowadays. You want to know why? Because everybody got a studio.
Everybody got a studio, bro.
Everybody got a studio now. So just
they should have never made MacBooks.
Michi, let me tell you something.
They got a Mac. I mean, everybody that's walking around with a Mac, they
a Mac and the interface and a mic, and you a producer at this point. Oh my God,
you are a producer.
That is the biggest misconception in the world.
Absolutely.
And you can't walk in that title lightly, but once again, because they have access to that stuff now, unlike when I was coming up, no, you have to go to the studio, learn this song, and play it, or like Zach said, you will be replaced. I can name a bunch of albums I got replaced on. And Michi laughing.
Yo, my feelings was hurt.
Lord,
my feelings was hurt.
Oh man, Zach, talk about crush. Wow. I'm telling my mama I'm gonna be on this record. Yeah. I done cut about 16 songs. That record come out.
The whole
I'm on track number 17, and it's only 16 on the record. Let me tell you something. That thing hurt.
That particular project, we recorded, I want to say 13 songs. Out of the 13 songs, I'm on legitimately maybe 3 or 4.
See? And now talk about kill your pride.
Oh, it was done.
Yeah, that right there. Oh man,
it was done. And you know, we when me and Willis talked about it, he said to me, he said, "Son, these are growing pains. You have to learn discipline when you're playing with a band and structure." He said, "Your job is one of the most important jobs because you're playing organ. You're holding the foundation. I'm literally playing around you. I'm playing the parts, but you're padding. We can't cut to that." So I had to learn. So we went from, it's crazy. We went from me, my stuff being deleted off of the projects to when we get together now. It's crazy because the last time we got together, Willis asking me, "What do you want me to play?" Now, keep in mind, he's the teacher.
Right.
He's the silent one with the Chester. So now the last time we were together, he was like, "Son, what do you want me to play? Do you want me to play? Do you want me to play that here?" I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" But that's because I guess that through the years you build trust, with the people that you work with or whatever.
There's another key element right there, is that a lot of these musicians don't want to, and I go back to relationships. They don't want to build relationships of trust with mentors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And with Uncle Bruce saying, like, what can y'all do? Y'all, I'm not gonna say y'all have done all y'all can do, but y'all have overextended yourselves. I know, to me. So if y'all have done it for me, I know you do it for everybody else. But
I think the main thing has to be we were hungry.
That's the other thing too, Michi. Everybody thinks they be
like Al, and we wanted to be, like Kevin, and we wanted, we wanted to walk in that light, like Bishop. We wanted, he had the production thing with and all of that. So we wanted to be that. So when they spoke, we took it I mean, and I mean, I'm sure some people's feelings were hurt at some point, but at the same time, it made us all better.
It did.
Absolutely.
They showed us what it took to. I mean, we were trying to be like them, you know. So,
and at this point, everybody's trying to be an individual. Nobody wants to nobody has role models anymore. So it's like when you ask a lot of these young musicians who they look up to, the first 10 people they say is probably their peers.
Yes.
And I'm like, to me, that's crazy.
Yes.
Because if you ask me, who do I look up to as a producer? I'm going back. I'm talking about Sanchez Harley. I'm talking about Zach. I'm going back. I'm talking about Cedric Thompson. I'm talking about Noel Hall. I'm talking about Stevie Ford. I'm talking about classic. You talk about who is your favorite band? Okay, let's go back. Fred Hammond. You got Marvin McQuitty, Terrence Palmer, Noel Hall. What's my guy that played Ox, Michi? Passed on. Tommy Walker, Daryl Dixon. Mohorns is like these young guys. They really don't have musical role models from producers to write. Like if you talk about who was a crazy writer back in the day, David Frazier. You can't. Yeah. How are you going to be a songwriter in gospel and not know who David Frazier is? Right. Do your homework.
He's still relevant.
He 100% still relevant. You got to do your homework. So now, if you don't have anybody to look up to and you're only looking at your peers and measuring greatness to your peers, it's like, now, wait a minute. You and me doing the same thing.
Right.
But the guys that came before us, they've done that and are willing to give it to us, but they not coming to get us because they don't have to.
Right.
And that's just the truth be told. But once again, like Michi said, there should be a hunger from the younger to want to be around that. There should be a hunger.
I was sitting there thinking, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Bishop. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I mean, you got so many that they're doing this gig thing, you know, they going on tour, and I mean, and so like I feel for them now because everybody home.
Everybody is ATC.
Everybody home. So, you know, I play for a church, you know what I mean? And I'm loyal to my church.
Me too.
So, I mean, even when I was playing for New Life, I didn't go anywhere unless I could get back on that organ by Sunday by 10 o'clock. And if I couldn't be back by 10 o'clock on the organ at New Life, then I just can't do it. And I didn't care how much money you were paying me. You know, so like I mean, there was a loyalty to the game and all of that. And I just think they missing it, you know, for 2 months of fame on stage versus longevity.
And if I can say something, I know Uncle Bruce will jump in. Before social media was created, y'all had a reputation that preceded y'all just by word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all's character spoke to y'all just from y'all's records. There was no way to know about a Garland Waller unless you heard him on a record. Mm-hmm. But now it's like people have access to quote unquote greatness when it's like, man, look, the only way you're going to see Michi, Timo, Calvin is if you go to a show. Yeah. So there was a different level of respect and revere because y'all were considered elite. Y'all were untouchable. Once touching everything became accessible, everything became common.
Yeah.
So now somebody that's 13 years old thinks they're just as common as the Calvin Rogers. Oh no, you won't think that.
Never.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You're playing at 15 years old and you producing your first record. Oh, now you think you're a Cedric Thompson? No. There's years of behind that stuff. It's like, okay, you might think they playing simple now, man. Michi, remember that VIP? It was Big Said and Little Said on the June. They just the two of them sounded like 19 musicians playing, but the knowledge that they have will always outweigh the skill.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. One of the greatest experiences I had as a musician was working on Bishop Parham's project when we recorded it. I'm gonna tell you why.
Hide Me record. That was that one.
the Hide Me record. Let me tell you why. Because this was the band. Stephen Ford, Jeff Davis.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's enough right there. Jonathan Du Bois.
Wow.
Just that crew right there. Watching them create the simplest things. Everybody playing their part. Just watching them create.
Yeah.
Everybody playing their part. Nobody overcompensating. You know, I watched Uncle Stevie tell Jonathan, that don't work. They don't play that no more. Uncle John, okay, no problem. You want me to do something different? I got it. Y'all know he's very animated. He did it.
Animated guy.
Right. You know, but the musicians nowadays, if you say something to them, you're hating.
Yeah.
When we were doing the Wawa thing, and Al was giving instructions saying, I want you to play this, not to play this. And there was a musician that was playing something that wasn't correct. And Al, you know, stopped the song. Like, you know, I thought the song was perfect, but that's how good his ear was.
Sure.
So I'm like, we're going to the next song. No, we're going right back to this because you're not playing it right. He got right on the organ and said, this is what you need to play. Da, 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 da. Play it just like that. These young musicians can't take that kind of criticism.
And it's really not hating, Zach. It's really just saying, no, you just played that chord wrong. That's it.
It's not. It's not hating.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking, you know, something that Morgan said, you know, a lot of the whole landscape has changed where music is concerned. Now it's likes and followers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think what some of these musicians and singers need is to get out of their region and sing in front of people that don't know you. If that don't humble you,
right,
nothing does, because they don't know who you are and they're not familiar with your material. So you got to bring it. You can't get up there and fluff. You got, and I don't think enough of them have had that experience.
Oh no.
You know, see, my crew, that's how we did it.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
you're right.
I can go all the way back to James Cleveland days when I sang with Reverend James Cleveland. I was a Cleveland singer before I started singing professionally on my own. Nobody knew who I was. I was the new kid on the block. Everybody else already had established themselves. I had to sing every night. And I had to sing at the top of my game. I couldn't have a bad night because I was establishing myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of these new kids, they don't know. Because they like you said, it's all visual, it's all social media. So they have a good night and people think they're like that all the time. No. Man, you need to see them in certain settings, and then you can say, okay, that's an artist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's somebody who can produce every time. Every time. There's a difference between that and somebody who just has a good song. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No.
But
that's real.
You know, and I think we have fluffed these people so much. And again, all the people we're talking about, they knew how to pinpoint that stuff.
Thank you.
And acknowledge it and say, no. You do that again. Well, you know, they knew how to pinpoint, you know, and I think that's the problem. We don't have enough, because now everybody thinks that they can sing. Everybody thinks that they can play. Everybody thinks that they can produce. And because they don't have anybody, or they're not listening to the people that are telling them, no, that's not good. That you know what I mean?
Right.
They're too busy listening to the people telling them how great they are.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
Listening to the people in their zip code.
Yes,
that's what they're doing. It's the people that.
Wow.
That's why
that's really what it is.
You're right. And that's why I really thank God for people like Al Ingram and Bishop Andrew Ford, because they demanded excellence, number one.
Sure.
And then number two, they got on your very last nerves until you did it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I mean, will wear you out until you got it right.
Right. Right.
You would think Andy Ford was an organist or keyboard player because he would stop a song that ain't the right chord. What are you playing over?
Oh my God!
I'm like, are you serious right now? And then Al would stop a song and just make you get up.
Right. Get up.
Let me get there real quick.
That's where Michi got it from. It all makes sense now.
Let me get there.
He did that to me recently when we was doing the Wow Wow Welcome America last year. We was doing something. I jumped on the organ because he got in front of the choir. He stopped the song. Zach, let me get there real quick. I'm like, you serious? Yeah, because that's not right. Oh, okay. I said, no problem. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah.
And he did it with a smile.
Right. But we need that. We really need that.
It's okay.
We need that. We need it. We need somebody to look us in the face and tell us the truth.
Right.
Yes.
And just say it in love,
Yes.
and say, I love you, but you sound awful. And just be honest about it. You know what I mean? Just tell them, I love you, but that's not right.
Bishop Parham is talking about himself right now.
Stop doing it.
Bishop Parham is talking about himself.
Don't do that. Don't tell people they sound good and you know they don't sound good. Just be honest with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the church is good. We are good for fluffing people and pushing them, and no. You need somebody just to be honest so that you can get better. You know what I mean? You can get better. I mean, listen. My first album, I'm gonna have to get off in a minute. My first project, again, Bishop Ford did it. We were in the studio, and some of the songs I did my own background. And I've been singing all my life, so I was like, okay, I know what to do. I get in the studio, and I do a take, and I thought the take was wonderful. And they push the little button. We're gonna do that one again. And sit back. We're gonna do that again. I'm in here sweating. What are you talking about? Do that one again, Bruce. Do that one again. You know what I mean? And we kept on doing it until it was done right. I learned how to sing by singing to my own voice. I really learned how to put a song together by having to sing to my own voice to match what I did the first time. I couldn't just sing all over the place. If I'm doing the part, I got to sing it the same way every time. That takes discipline. And he would push that button one more time. We're gonna stack that. And I figure, okay, we're good. Nice. I got two of them out of me. Good. I didn't like that one. Let's do that enough. Whew, God. But it disciplined me and it trained me. You know what I mean? And that's what we need. We really need those mentors. We just need those mentors again that can really bring that foundation and help.
Absolutely.
There's nobody. And here's the other thing: nobody's intimidated by you. It's like we all got gifts and talents. We all have something that we can do. So nobody's hating on you. We want you to be great.
Right.
Exactly.
We really want you to be great, but listen to somebody. That's how you get there. You
gotta listen. There you go, Unc. You just gotta listen. If you don't listen, you'll really only be as great as you think you are. And most of the time, that you ain't as great as you walk out your front door.
Well, there's one thing I want to out of all of this, and I think we've all shared. If we can, before it's too late, I mean, if there are some other people that we can begin to just acknowledge while they're living. Can we start that?
Man, I got you one better, man. If you look in the comments, Uncle David Frazier's on here right now. So I'm going to say, Uncle David Frazier, you are one of the greatest penmen of gospel music, period.
Absolutely.
And we want to publicly say we love you, we thank you, we need you. Please do not stop writing. There is a generation behind me that still needs to hear what your pen has to offer. I can name 10 songs from records you done in Baltimore. Fresh Anointing, all the stuff you did from Mount Hatton Baptist Church, New Antioch Baptist Church.
Right.
Man, please don't ever stop. We need you. I love you. I honor and respect you. And you know, if any young writers are on here right now, and you want to get with a writing mentor, a writing guru, connect with David Frazier.
Sure.
He is absolutely one of God's finest penmen. Period. Fight me. I'll meet you in the street. Fight me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He will always be relevant. He will always be relevant. All of his music stands, it's timeless. He wrote timeless
music.
And it's funny that you mentioning him, because that was my first CD, David Frazier, Overcoming Power.
See,
that's the first song on the CD. Right. And that's timeless.
Y'all looking for those one-hit wonders. David writes them in his sleep.
Absolutely.
You could put that song on right now, and your head will start going just like this.
Right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know we didn't talk Marcy ears off.
She over there just smiling.
I'm loving it. I'm sitting here watching it the way they watching us. Whoever watching us live, I'm sitting here watching it the same way, because I'm telling y'all, like, this is just awesome to hear what you all have to say first about those who have passed on, but to hear you all in the space that you are all in the artistry and in the kingdom, and being able to now talk to those that are coming up. You know, I'm a person who, you know, I'm in church and I see the concerts and things. So a lot of things that you guys are saying as it relates to the young musicians, we can see it. You know, we kind of see those things. So to hear you all just trying to help and deposit and want to be able to leave them or give them something so they can have more and build the kingdom even better than what we're doing, you know, where it is. We want to build this kingdom. It's just amazing to watch this, amazing to hear you all. That some people kind of reached out to some young musicians to be able to get on and hear. And I hope if, you know, they continue to listen and they continue to reach out to you all so they can get more and they learn the hymns, understand why we want to play the hymns, why we want to hear the hymns, understand what it means to shift the atmosphere, you know. So all these things are just so important, being able to be a musician and an artist. So it's just been really amazing to sit here and to hear and to listen. And I'm not even an artist, but I'm like, yeah, I can take a lot of stuff they saying too, you know, just being a person, just being able to look for somebody to guide you a little bit better and direct you and all of these things. So this was just absolutely amazing, like totally amazing. And I totally appreciate it. And thank you, Michi, for even thinking about doing this, because this was a great, this show is a way that we are now being able to do now what you all are talking about, being able to celebrate those kingdom legends that are still here with us, you know, being able to do that. So I am just so appreciative that you all just came by and did what y'all did tonight. It was just absolutely awesome. So I thank each and every one of you. And so I'm gonna ask this question from each of you, like, if it was one word that you will all leave tonight as it relates to these legends that have passed on, what would that word be?
I'll go first because I'm the youngest, and so I want wisdom to come after me so they can leave the best parts. I would honestly say legacy and relationships matter. The legacy that they have left has touched so many lives through countless generations, and the relationships that they have built have shaped the path that a lot of us have walked down. So for all of those that want to be great, make sure you connect to a great legacy, and not just connect to it for gain, but really connect to it because that's what you have a passion to be. You have a passion to be great. And don't be afraid to build relationships with people that are better than you. Never be intimidated by somebody else's greatness, by somebody else's walk, because you don't know what it took for them to be great. At one point, they were not. But in their greatness, there is still something that they have to offer you, even though you might not see them exercise it in the same way that you remember. It's very, very rare you're going to see Michi playing on a piano at a gig. That, you know, he's matured to a different position in the kingdom when he's doing amazing. You know, Bishop Parham is not the artist he was as in James Cleveland days. You know, Zach is just not the organist anymore. They have all matriculated into a greater, you know, position. So don't be afraid to connect to people that are better than you. Be humble enough to say, this is where I want to go, and these are the people that I want to be connected to. And those are my words.
I echo what you said. Be humble, be teachable, be respectful, and everything else. I'm gonna yield to them.
I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to know all of them, and that they were able to have a major impact on my life, not just as a musician, uh, as a man. Uh, you know, they kind of taught us professionalism, how to be professional. So, I mean, I miss them. I miss them. Like I said, I'm just grateful. I mean, all the stuff that Morgan said, all the stuff that Zach has said and Bishop has said, you know, I just pray that we can be considered um, as great as all of them, and not for anyone to give us accolades or anything like that. But I saw people push Al to the side in these latter years, in his latter years. You know, that he can't really play, but I don't have a clue who that man was and how good he really is. Because he wasn't looking for the stardom, you know. He wasn't looking for it, you know. And he wrote many songs, you know, a lot of songs that people probably don't even know, you know. Kevin Wilkins and I mean Jeff Davis. I mean, he didn't care to play no more, you know. Yeah, he didn't been there, done that, you know. So, you know, Kevin Custis. I don't know if a lot of people know, Kevin Custis was one of the great business minds years and years ago. Years ago, I think he was managing John Payton's group, and there were a couple other groups that he was managing, but nobody was thinking like him at his age, you know. So he had plenty of wisdom. So I would have to say, for me, I'm just grateful that I had an opportunity to learn from all of them. You know, we learned how to play and do church the way it's supposed to be. You know, we learned how to flow from Al and Kevin. You know, we learned how to play records like, you know, from Jeff. You know, we learned how to do, and we learned how to be good people after the fact. After we finished playing, we learned how to be good people. You know, Al was an amazing person. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I know you said one word.
Hold on, you can say what you need to say, Bishop. Go
ahead. Come on, bring it on home,
bro. You need to
say. I think you all have really said a mouthful. There's a couple of threads that I've heard throughout the whole night. Excellence and consistency. You know, they kind of go hand in hand. I think the beautiful thing about the people that we talked about, although they were professional and sticklers for what they did, they remained humble, and they were touchable, and they were reachable. You don't have to be arrogant and anointed. You don't have to be arrogant and gifted. You really can be humble and still do a great job at what you've been given to do.
Absolutely.
And so I think they are examples of excellence and consistency. And every time you saw them, they were the same way.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And every time they operated from that standard, you know. And I'll go back to what I said early on in the conversation. If you want to raise your standard, you got to hang around people who are taller than you, who are bigger than just eye level.
Wow.
They got to be somewhere that you haven't been, so that they can pull you up there. You know what I mean? You know, the air is different when you go higher. The air is different, and some people just need to experience a different air so that they can really grow and be better. It's not that they aren't great. It's just they breathe in the wrong air. They get around somebody else that's, you know, and these people did that. They did that for us.
Yes.
You know, and
Absolutely.
I mean, they were my friends, they were my brothers, but they still were mentors. You know what I'm saying? And so we were close and all of that good stuff, but I understood the relationship. You know, and when you understand a relationship, you're never intimidated.
Sure.
You know, you're happy and you're comfortable and you appreciate somebody, you know, feeling what they feel and loving you the way they do. Say, hey, let me help you with that. You know, and so now we have that responsibility. You know, and that's what we really been talking about. Now we have that burden is now on us. For those of us that are still here, we now have that assignment. You know, the uncles and the big brothers are becoming the fathers.
Yes.
By default. We didn't ask for it. We've been shoved into the position.
Right.
You know, and so we're here because we want to help people get better and do better. It's not an intimidation. This ain't a David Saul thing at all. It ain't no fighting, and it ain't about that. This is about us propelling you to another level, you know, and pushing you to another place, so that when we get to the season of our lives when we no longer can do it, the mantle has been passed, and we can trust you to carry it. You know, to trust you to carry it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Thank you tonight. I appreciate tonight, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Listen, I want to say there was a reason for me that I asked the three of you to be on. One, because I know all of you have integrity and all of you are humble and all of you are great in your own way, and all of you have had an impact on me as well. So, and I'm glad that we're all able to be, you know, Morgan the little brother, Zach the brother, and then Bishop the big brother. You know, so I love all of you, and just thank you for uh, helping in conveying this message to the younger people. And then we just need to keep Bishop alive. We need to keep Al alive. We need to keep Kevin alive. Keep Jeff alive. You know, so that these young people know who these people are.
Absolutely.
And their contribution to gospel music, church, business, industry, so on and so forth. So I thank all three of you for doing it. And I thank Praise Chapel.
Thank you, Praise Chapel,
for giving us this platform.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for coming. I'm so honored that you all came and and did this show tonight. It was amazing. I'm telling you, it was so awesome. So thank you all. Thank you so much. Listen, it was an awesome night. I don't even know what else to say. I promise you, I was a spectator just like you were tonight, because it was so amazing. Like, that's how I feel. I'm telling you, the heart that we heard tonight was just so awesome, so amazing. And my prayer, and I think our prayer here at the Praise Chapel and Kingdom Sound, is that we pray that you have received what was given on tonight. You know, that's what we want to do. This is all about kingdom building, and part of kingdom building is that we're able to receive from what others are giving and what they are depositing. So our prayer is that you definitely have received something tonight. If you are a musician or an artist, I definitely pray that you're able to take some nuggets and take some things and make sure that you gravitate to someone who Bishop said, us taller, right? Because that's what we want to make sure we're doing. And you listen, you can take that any place in life, actually, right? Not just being an artist, but you can take that any place. We always want to make sure that we are striving. If you want to strive for more, you got to grip and you got to grab someone who's doing something, and you grab them so they can bring you up as well. Listen, it was an amazing show. Amazing. I'm telling y'all, I've probably never been that quiet in my life, but I was just so excited to just listen and hear. And it was just awesome. And I am just so glad that we were able to honor tonight those gentlemen, Alex Ingram, Bishop Andrew Ford, Kevin Custis, and Jeff Davis. I am just so honored that we were able to take this time, this segment, and this platform to honor those awesome and great kingdom. They were artists, they were kingdom men. Listen, I'm just so glad that this platform was given to be able to do that. And we know there are plenty more that's have gone on, and definitely we're going to use this platform to be able to honor them. That's why we want to make sure we will stand and continue to do Kingdom Legends, because we want to be able to let people know, like, again, I think it was said already in the show that some of the young musicians may not know the legends who have literally paved the way. So we want to make sure that we're never forgetting, and we're going to keep them alive in our memories and being able to share. But not only that, we want to make sure we have some kingdom legends who are still here. We want to be able to celebrate what they have done and what they are still doing. So we want to make sure that we're going to be bringing them on our show, being able to talk to them. So it is just going to be amazing. Listen, stay connected. I tell y'all all the time, y'all better come on and stay connected right here to the Praise Chapel channel, okay? Because it is some great things going on. Stay connected to Kingdom Sound, Kingdom Legends. Listen, it is going down right here on the Praise Chapel channel. All right, we are done tonight. I know I said we wasn't going to be before you long, but listen, tonight, it was a good one. And I know you all sat there and you watched and you enjoyed it. So listen, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay connected, okay? Make sure you're going to I Go to Praise Chapel, all social media, okay? That's Instagram, Facebook. Go to YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to us on new YouTube. Hit them notification bells and all that kind of stuff so you know when we are posting a video, okay? I Go to Praise Chapel. It's just that easy, right? You can just pop that in here and we're going to come up, and then make sure you are following, you are liking, you are commenting, doing all of those great things, because we want to make sure you are connected. We want you to be part of our family right here in the chapel, okay? So thank you so much for watching. Guess where we're going to be next Tuesday? Right here with you. You're going to be with me. I'm going to be with you, okay? Meet me here 8:00 p.m. on next Tuesday. It is going to be awesome and amazing as always. But until then, listen, make sure, again, you are staying connected to the Praise Chapel channel, where we are all about that kingdom living. We are giving you the best in kingdom living. And if you want to live kingdom, you already know you got to seek first the kingdom of God. Thank you so much for watching. What an awesome night. Hey, go ahead and watch it again, because it was a really great show tonight. Go ahead and share it and share this video, okay? We want to make sure that everyone is able to watch it and hear and listen. All right, so that's it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I am just so glad you was here with us tonight. I will see you all next week, okay? Love you all. Bye.